Okay, a lot of you are drawn to the area because of Clearwater. Clearwater has a lot of great things, but I want to share some of the pros and cons of the area. Here we go. I'm Sam, and this is the Living in Tampa channel, and we make these videos for you about what it's like to live and move to Tampa. But more than making the videos, we would love to earn your real estate business. We have a team of realtors here in the area, and we would love to hear from you. Call, text, email anytime. We'd love to hop on a Zoom call and see how we can best help you. So we hear from new clients every single day, and they're generally looking at the bigger area, Tampa or like St. Petersburg or Clearwater, and they don't know the next level yet. And of course you don't know the next level. I didn't really know the next level before I moved here either, but also like my wife is from here, so I knew a little bit more. If you're just like, oh, I've heard about Tampa, or I always wanted to live by the beach. Oh, I went to Clearwater Beach one time, or I went to Busch Gardens one time, or Tampa seems cool. That's usually where the search is starting. And so I want to provide some details about Clearwater, just kind of pros and cons, and get into a few stories about the area as well. So Clearwater is about 115,000 people, but it's in the most densely populated county in the whole state, Pinellas County. People used to be critical of, I should say a few people used to be critical about how I said Pinellas, because I said Pinellas. Actually, that's how my in-laws say it, who were like born and raised here. And I actually hear people say Pinellas, Pinellas. I don't really care. But I'm sad to say I've kind of adapted to that criticism, and I mostly say Pinellas. So Pinellas County is the most densely populated county in the state, but it's only like number 40 in terms of density for the U.S. So it's dense for Florida because Florida is so big. There's not that many densely populated areas. And it only beats Miami County because it's Miami-Dade County, which is a bigger area. Otherwise, that would be more densely populated if just Miami County was its own thing. Let's get right into the cons. Con number one, and this is a little divisive, I understand that, but I'm going to say con number one is Scientology. Not the existence of Scientology, not that people follow Scientology, but the headquarters, the world headquarters of Scientology is right in downtown Clearwater. They own a lot of real estate down in that area, and it just creates this kind of barren kind of vibe. Actually, the city of Clearwater has brought this up to them a lot recently and trying to force them to develop more of this real estate that they own. So again, I'm not saying Scientologists are a con. I'm saying that there's this headquarters that kind of creates this ghost town of a downtown is super confusing. And as with all cons, they're never like that negative, right? And I don't want to pretend like these are like the worst things in the world, but they just are things you're going to have to deal with if you live in Clearwater. Number two con is tourist influx. There's a lot of tourist influx to Clearwater. It's like one of the main draws of tourism to this whole Tampa area. Clearwater Beach is super popular, super developed. It's a nice beach with like shopping and condos and hotels and restaurants and all that kind of stuff. It's also the beach that if you just drive from Tampa, Highway 60, Gulf to Bay Highway, you end at the beach. So it's the most accessible, most frequented beach in the area. So con number three is that this is kind of the commercial area for the whole north side of Pinellas County. Whether that's the Countryside Mall, it's just other shopping, Costco, things like that, or it's like the bigger hospital. It serves a way bigger area than just Clearwater, and it's kind of the hub. Like all of us come south to Clearwater, all the way up to, like to Tarpon Springs, and go south to Clearwater for those kind of things. And now that will be on the pro list that you have access to all those kind of things. But you're also kind of having influx of others, not just tourists, but influx of the towns to the north of you that don't have all of those amenities. Okay, con number four, this is a big one. US 19, Highway US 19, the state highway that runs north and south through this whole county is awful. It's like stop and go, and people just race on it. Sometimes people call it US Raceway 19 because it's just like 55 miles an hour and then just stoplight after stoplight after stoplight. So people just go real fast and then stop real fast. And it's really a drag. It gets really congested during typical commute times. I mean, you're slowed down 30 to 40%, but you know, usually it takes me 15 minutes to get to my office during normal traffic, and during a commute time, it's taking me 25 minutes. Not that big of a deal, but a pain. Okay, number 5 is density. We talked about density a little bit. Population density in this county is high. And then on top of that, in Clearwater is higher than the rest of the county. Clearwater and Largo are and these kind of towns that connect, both about 100,000 people, and they have really high population density. Now, like I said, not as dense as a big city. Not that big of a deal. But it is a deal. All right, let's get into the pros. Pro number one is that Clearwater is pretty close to this whole area, whether that's the beaches, whether that's Tampa, it's the airport, it's St. Petersburg. Clearwater is a really easy access point in and out of all these areas. You still might have that traffic that we talked about, but it's still pretty easy. Pro number two is the shopping that we talked about. So there is like a mall, and there's a Costco, and there's a Whole Foods, and those kind of things, and just, you know, countless other like commercial developments that have like Hobby Lobby and Sprouts and those kind of things. And it's just kind of like one after the next, whether you're on Gulf to Bay or Curlew or US 19 or even Alternate 19 that goes through downtown. There's a lot of shopping, food, all those kind of amenities that you would need. Pro number three is that the state and the county invest a lot in this area because it is such a draw for tourists. They're constantly putting money into, you know, right now they're building a new amphitheater over on the water. Things like that are happening constantly in Clearwater because it gets so much attention. So even like the Marine Aquarium that's out by the beach, that area, well, they made a movie, Dolphin Tale, but that movie and that attention brought so much money and like new infrastructure to that area. They built a giant big aquarium. It's super fun. It's more expensive than you think though, but hopefully the money goes to good stuff. Okay, pro number five is countryside. So kind of the east side of Clearwater, it's called the countryside area. There's a mall over there, there's a school, countryside school, those kind of things. This area borders Safety Harbor, which is a very loved and small area in Pinellas County. Safety Harbor has like a cool downtown, has like a big spa on the water that's like super old school. Some people really love it, but it seems old. A lot of stuff in Florida seems old actually. But countryside kind of lets you escape a lot of the busy vibe of Clearwater and have a more suburban vibe. Right there in the middle of the county, still in the same town, just kind of on the east side of the town. So closer to Tampa, further from the beach. Countryside has a really cool vibe. And in countryside, you can get condos for $300,000, or you can get big houses with pools for, you know, $1 million. There's all kinds of options over there. Okay, and pro number five is water. So you have the beach, you have the bay on the other side. You have lakes throughout, ponds throughout. There's just a lot of water. You can go to a park and like walk along the water. You can go to a restaurant and eat by the water. Water all around, and Clearwater is no exception to that. Clearwater has a lot of water features that make it really special. I am getting bit by the bugs out here. That is pretty typical for me, and that's just what I have to deal with. Anyway, this is the pros and cons of Clearwater. We hope that you enjoyed them. As always, we would love a chance to earn your real estate business. Our phone number and email are right there on the screen and in the description down below. Thanks for coming by.